Hey friends, and welcome to another episode of Synced Up Designs Equipment Basics. My name is Kyle, and in this video, we're going to be introducing a new form of toss and catch for both of our weapons. This new form is going to be called a backhand. Real quick, if you could just take a second to like this video and subscribe to our channel, it'd be really nice for us. And if you want to stay up to date with anything we post in the future, go ahead and hit that bell icon down below as well. Anyways, with that taken care of, let's go figure out what these backhands are. So when it comes to a backhand, you can either do a backhand toss or a backhand catch. Essentially what a backhand is inverting your hand to reverse or backhand in the position it used to be in, and then reversing the direction of the rotation for a release, or stopping it in an inverted position in that backhand position. So we'll first go over how to throw a backhand toss on rifle and saber from both the right hand and the left hand, and then we'll backtrack to go over how to catch a backhand toss in that backhand position, because you can throw it from a backhand and catch it, or you could just throw it from backhand. So we'll make sure to go over the difference between each of those as we go through the video. So first I'm gonna go over how to do this on rifle, and to start for our backhand toss, you're just gonna have your feet in a nice comfortable second, and we're gonna start in a right flat position. Right now I am wrapping my thumb around the neck to initiate this, so I have a little bit more control when I go into the backhand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let go with my left hand, and I'm gonna twist the nose up to this upper angle right here until my hand is inverted in what we call that backhand shaping. This is the start of a backhand toss, or it's also the catch position for a backhand, which we'll get into more detail about that in a second. Instead of just twisting the rifle up and over like I would for a drop spin, I'm actually going to reverse the direction by twisting the nose down and then back up to this angle right here, which is when I'm gonna let go of the rifle. That swing down up is what gives me the energy that I would have with my push, except I need to use my right hand to do it to get the twist up as I go through this toss. So we start in this backhand position, I swing down up to this release, and then I'm gonna let go. When I let it spin, it's going to spin the direction it would for a regular left-handed toss. So I'm gonna spot the butt as it comes around, and then when I see it, I'm gonna put my hand in to catch back at that right flat position. So we go swing up and catch, and that is a backhand toss. Starting from this position, twist up, catching in that position. You can also do it on the other side, starting in that left flat, twisting up to the backhand position, feeling the swing to the release of this angle right here, letting go, and then recatching back at that left flat position. I would also recommend twisting your rifle over and just feeling the motion of that on the other side for each hand. The approach is going to be the same, but the weight is just going to feel a little bit different in each hand. So just make sure that you get a second to work each of those. But this is essentially the idea of throwing a single flip over for a backhand toss. So when it comes to saber, it's going to be similar approach. It's just going to be a little bit different in terms of the weight. We're also going to take our right hand slightly into the center of the blade as opposed to closer to the catch tape. So we're starting in that right flat position. We'll slide that hand down and then twist to go over to that backhand. We're going to initiate by swinging to feel the energy into the release, letting go at this upper angle right here, swinging around and then catching back into that right flat position. Again, remember, we don't have a push hand, so we have to use the swing to help get the momentum that we need into the release to go back into that catch. Also remember that when you go into this release right here, that you really want to think about spotting it as if you're throwing from the left hand. So similar, it's rotating a single over from the left hand, it's rotating counterclockwise in my perspective. If I throw a backhand, it's going to be rotating in the same direction as well. So just really think about what you are spotting as you're going in for that toss. Similar on rifle, we can do it on the other side, same motion, but just a different hand. Going up to that backhand, traveling to the center of the blade, swinging to feel the twist, release at that angle, and then catch back in that left flat position. Swing down up, squeeze. And then I would also recommend, just like on rifle, working the other positions as well, just so you can feel the difference of weight. Whenever you're working in the hilt or close to the hilt side, you can either catch both hands in the blade, or if you'd like to, you can catch both hands back into the hilt. But you want to make sure you start in the blade for the first parts of working through backhands. And then switching over to the other side, we feel that backhand start position, we swing to our release, we find that catch back in that left flat, either in the blade or in the hilt when working close to that hilt. So now that we have this idea of catching a regular flat position from a backhand start, I want to talk about how we can start in a backhand and finish in a backhand. So a quick demo of what this looks like. We release that single and then we go back into a catch position starting where we just began in this backhand shaping right here. How you do this is you're going to start in that inverted shape of the hand, you're going to twist to the release, and you're not going to lift it super high, you're going to keep it nice and low. Once you let go of it, you're instantly going to turn that hand back over with your thumb facing down to then re-catch the rifle or the saber back in your starting position. So you go up and squeeze back into that position. If you are uncomfortable catching this, it will be at first when you're first starting it, you can use that other hand to help stop the rifle or the saber catching either at the hilt or the nose or whichever position you're starting in to stop the rotation and feel this momentum of the catch position here. Twist and squeeze so you can feel that out. Notice that I'm also wrapping my thumb to help make sure that I can squeeze that stop position. It's similar to our blade tosses that we talked about in a previous video. You want to think that after letting go of the rifle, as it's spinning around, when it comes back around for that last rotation, you want to connect your hand to it on this angle and then squeeze it at this angle as opposed to trying to squeeze here, or sorry, trying to connect here and then squeezing after, because then it will definitely spin out of your hand. So we find that twist and catch, again using our left hand to stop it if we would like to, and then if you also want to take it even a step further, you can twist to the flat and then re-grab in that backhand to just kind of feel that motion out and then work on putting it together and then work on using just that hand as you go through. Again, we can do it on both sides, starting on that left flat, finding that twist, reach, grab, and finding that backhand shaping for the left hand. And like the other stuff that we worked on, I would really recommend working each side inverted on each piece of equipment so you can just feel the difference of weight. And then same thing on Sabre, we'll start in that right flat position, twist to your backhand, traveling up the blade just a little bit. We twist to release and then twist that hand back over to go back into that backhand position. Quick slow down version, lift and catch. I'm releasing here and I twist my hand back down to squeeze in that catch position. You also want to make sure that as you're working through your backhands, you're trying to keep your shoulders as square to the front as possible. There may be some slight movement, but you still want to keep it still and not try and punch that shoulder forward as you go into that backhand, because catching like this is going to cause you to possibly get nicked in the fingers or possibly even get hit in the elbow. So just make sure you're keeping everything square, keeping the arm behind and only putting the hand in for the catch of the backhand. We're also trying to make sure that we keep our elbows bent, nice and soft bend for our single, and then catching at that angle as well. We again repeat on the other side, switching to the left flat, twist over, reach and catch, and there's our backhand on the left side. Same thing as rifle, I would recommend feeling it out on both sides. In this instance, I would recommend for first starting out on your backhands to catch these guys in the blade as opposed to the hilt, because catching in the hilt is a little bit harder of a skill and we just haven't gotten to that yet in our technique. So really just stick to the blade for now. And then again, you can put that other hand in, I missed it, hello. Put that other hand in to help stop the rotation if you need to kind of find where that backhand is, or even break it down to the catch, twist, repeat, catch, twist, and then add the next parts of it afterwards, adding just the left hand and then working on the right hand, and then vice versa for the other sides as well. So just to give a quick recap on our backhands, we first started with the starting position of that inverted hand and worked on just getting a release from a backhand and working that idea of the inverted rotation as well as the inverted hand, flipping back to the same hand. We release from the right, catch with the right, or we release from the left, catch with the left. And then we also talked about making sure to try it on both sides so that way we can feel the difference of weight on both pieces of equipment. After we got that concept a little bit under our belt, we talked about starting from a backhand and then catching in a backhand, starting in this inverted shaping and then going back to it by just making sure we release up and then instantly twist that hand back over to prepare for that catch position. We talked about a couple things to help with this, making sure to connect with it at this angle and then squeeze at this angle as opposed to connecting here and then squeezing after. And we also talked about how you can use other hands to help kind of break this down and feel the idea of that backhand as you're working through it. And then again, as we did with just our tosses, we're also working the other sides as well to feel out the difference of weight. Anyways, that was our video on backhands. This is a pretty straightforward skill, although there are a lot of things that go behind it. This video kind of introduced the bare bones introduction of this, and then we'll keep working on it and establishing higher level understanding of it as we go into more things for our technique exercises and things like that. Anyways, if you found this video helpful or enjoyed it in any way, please consider liking, and as always, the comment section down below is open to you guys if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one, and happy spinning.